Go!
Whoa, what? Are we recording a podcast?
Welcome back, everybody. Feels like it's been a long time.
It's been
longer for us than it has been for you.
It's true. Welcome to the Brothers Game Podcast. It's me, Nicolai.
And me, Brian. Hello.
I've been on paternity leave for a while now.
Yep.
But Daddy's back.
Yep.
I can say that now. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
So,
Brian, what have you been up to?
Let's talk about the boy first,
because
that was actually very soon after
very eventful.
the February episode went up. It was about
Yes. So his due date was the 14th of February on Valentine's Day. He was born on the 15th. One
the same
day later,
that episode went up. Actually,
the day that episode went up. So since that episode is when I've been dadding it up. Mm-hmm. I cannot believe next week he'll be 2 months old.
Yeah,
because it still feels like a couple weeks only that I've had him, basically, which is just insane.
So yeah, talk about fatherhood a little bit. What's that been like?
Well, every day's a blur. I don't know. I never know what day it is. Mm-hmm. It's always like, oh, right, it's Thursday today. You guys help keep that, keep me in check with that. I have been able to be off of work also for this whole time, except for a couple times where I've had to help with a couple things. But mostly I've been with the boy. And in general, I think it's proof that God likes us a lot because we got like the best baby in the world.
Yeah.
You just hear a lot of horror stories about, crying for 4 hours straight, and mom and dads never get to sleep, and all the things like that. And I haven't really experienced that.
The times I've been around him when he's cried, he's not a screamer.
Right.
Yeah, like I've been around babies that they just wail like they are loud
nonstop.
He can cry loud, but like nothing like I've heard from some other.
And
babies.
it's not very long lived usually, and there usually is something we can do to stop it. He's usually just hungry. Our kid eats like crazy. He eats at least an ounce more than his age range per feeding of formula or milk or whatever, and so that's keeping up with that is a bit tough sometimes. But he's in bed right now as we're recording. He sort of naturally went towards sleeping at night. I mean, we helped with, the where the feeding schedule is and stuff. And we tried to have a bedtime of about like 10 o'clock for him. Now we're moving it a little earlier, more like 9. But and he gets tired right around bedtime.
Nice.
Sometimes we have to, I walk around with him for a while before he's really asleep. But yeah. And then he sleeps 3 to 5 or 6 hours even at a time at night, which is unheard of for a kid his age. So, we're just so blessed, we're just so awesome.
So technically speaking,
fun.
I was an uncle before this because I have 2 brothers that each have kids. But I barely know them because, first of all, I didn't even know they were my brothers until a couple of years ago because I think I explained that in an earlier episode. But like basically through 23andMe, they realized that we were related. So I have nieces and nephews that I barely know that I've only met once or twice. But so this is the first nephew I've gotten to be close with at all, and it's been a fun experience. So on the day of his birth, I went to the hospital. I took off work early because I really wanted to be there. And while you guys were in the delivery room, I was out in the waiting room playing Pokemon Gold.
Heck yeah. On your Retroid Pocket.
On my Retroid Pocket.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very perfect.
Yep. So because I am always on brand.
Exactly. He did. Delivery went fairly well, and all that. He is so ridiculously cute. We hear it a lot from other people that he's like actually cute because some babies aren't quite as cute.
Yeah, some babies you say they're cute to be nice, but really,
he definitely looks like both of us. He's got my eyes, which is very very sweet, and my feet.
Yeah,
he really has my feet.
Yeah.
like very long, skinny, like very specific shape. Absolutely my feet.
It's funny
ridiculous.
because you have long, skinny feet, and I have very wide feet.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Like,
yeah.
I thought
How
I was a
different we
bigger
are.
shoe size than I was for a long time, but it turns out I just have really wide feet. Like,
Yeah.
if I get really wide shoes, I can get they don't have to be very long at all.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, whereas sometimes mine, like my toes are never scrunched together in a shoe because they're always plenty wide enough for
Yeah.
me, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, his clothes are so insanely cute, but he's growing out of them so quickly.
Yeah.
He grew out of newborns in no time, which was very sad because we had a lot of cute newborn clothes. But what are you going to do? And he's wearing 3-month clothes right now.
Yeah.
And even though he's almost 2 months, not even 2 months old yet.
Yeah.
So there's that, big boy. Yeah, people say he's going to be tall probably. Even like the pediatrician said that. His pediatrician called him perfect.
Well, that's good.
Which I was like, you probably shouldn't say that as a medical professional.
Right.
It's probably not a good idea. But I'll take it. I'll take it.
Because you and April are both over 5'10", so he's probably going to be at least
5'10",
that tall
5'11"-ish,
then.
so.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. We're like almost exactly the same height. Maybe give or take a centimeter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's an awesome boy. He's really cool. Mom took a picture of me holding him with one arm and shiny hunting with my right hand with my 3DS on the table.
Always on brand.
Always on brand. I've had a lot of time to shiny hunt and stuff with having a baby boy. So that's nice. And shout out to my mom who has been extremely helpful. She has been at my house a lot. So.
I joke that she now lives there and visits me sometimes.
Right, basically. She sleeps here at this house, but basically, lives at my house. So extremely helpful to have, family that cares nearby. So, and my wife has been able to, she left her job completely, which is fantastic. And she'll be opening up a small daycare starting pretty soon. We made sure that we can do like 3 kids-ish.
Yeah.
Without needing, a bunch of classes and stuff and all that. And so that'll be nice. So yeah, we're just kind of in the middle of all that right now. I'm sort of transitioning back into doing more work stuff because we have farmers markets coming up and stuff like that. So I'll have to work at least a couple days a week coming up soon. But yeah, so I'm trying to just enjoy all this time while I can.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was playing Pokemon Gold. I still have that playthrough going. I basically, anytime I'm at a place where I know I might be bored or I just have a lot of time to kill, I'll just pull out my Retroid Pocket and keep playing on that. I'm about to fight the Elite Four, and I have an Eevee that I'm working on evolving into an Espeon.
Oh, nice. Which takes much longer in old games.
Yes. I have done it once before. In fact, I did it with both Espeon and Umbreon. So
Nice.
Breeding helps.
Yes. Hugely. Yeah.
And so I did that.
Instead of base happiness, you get like over 120 base happiness, I think, when they're bred. Yeah. So much easier.
Yeah. And then at the same time, a similar game, I was playing Pokemon Soul Silver.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
So
that you played through that.
I had played it once, and it was right after I had played Diamond. And I had a negative experience with Diamond, and it kind of colored my Soul Silver experience because I was like...
Felt the same almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, same engine, basically.
And so this time, I had a better time.
Okay.
And so, like, I've played Platinum now, and Platinum was like a way better version of Diamond, and it was actually pretty enjoyable. And then
Good Sinnoh,
I played, I had played Gold or Silver recently before Soul Silver, and that got me back into the whole Gen 2 thing. And so I had a better time this time. I don't remember my team, but I know I started Cyndaquil like I usually do.
Heck yeah.
I think.
Cyndaquil's cool.
Did I? Or did I start Totodile? I know I started Totodile in Gold.
I don't remember, honestly.
But I
think it was
can't remember
Cyndaquil.
which I started.
Starts right.
Started.
So,
Yeah. I had... so the movesets are a little better in Soul Silver. They're not a lot better.
But at least you get the special physical
Yeah.
split. So, I mean,
So like
that
I've
helps a
got,
lot.
I think I have a Knock Towel in that playthrough,
Yeah, you
and
did.
it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's got good psychic moves and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
not really the special attack to really make use of it. But
I think I have, I think I might have a Sudowoodo.
oh yeah, I think that sounds right if I
Yeah.
remember. Very exciting.
Yeah. But yeah, that I had a good time with that playthrough.
Yeah, I feel like it still has the negatives of like weird levels in
Yeah.
like the Johto area
Yeah.
and going to Kanto. Like everything's really hard and then really easy, or the other way around. I don't remember, but like having late gyms be such low level and stuff is really weird. And I think it still has the issue of Johto not having enough cool Gen 2 Pokemon in it.
Yeah.
but yeah. Obviously it's a really well made game though. Very
Yeah.
pleasant looking and stuff. I personally really like the sprites
Mm-hmm.
in Heart Gold Soul Silver. Love like the colors in them and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing, especially in Gen 2, this is a thing, is all the different water type HMs that you need. Because you've got
Oh
Surf,
yeah.
Waterfall, and Whirlpool. And so
yeah.
historically, I've always had 2 water types on my Gen 2 team,
Mm-hmm.
so that one can have Whirlpool and Waterfall, and one can have Surf.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like Gen 3 also has 3, but it has Dive instead of Whirlpool.
Right.
And it's, yeah. I mean, the old IGN criticism of too much water is fairly valid.
Yeah.
I like to have a Whale Lord in Gen 3 because it can learn Surf, Dive, Waterfall, and Strength. And just have that as like an HM whale.
I do have a Ferret as my HM slave.
Sad. I love
It does a
Ferret.
good job of that.
I love Ferret. He's so cute.
I think I like Ferret better than the others that came after, like
Yeah.
Lanoon or
Oh, yeah. I don't really care
and,
for Lionun and Bibarel and all them.
yeah.
Yeah. And Watchhog, I really don't like personally, but he's weird. Yeah, I actually used a Ferret in an X and Y playthrough, my last Y playthrough a while ago. And with Return, the move Return and Full Friendship,
Yeah.
because of the normal stab and everything, that hits like really hard actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Real good. I think with Max Friendship, it's like a 90 or 100 power move or something.
Okay.
The move Return, it's like Frustration but with happiness. And it's 100% accuracy. And so no downsides or anything. Anyway, good stuff.
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah.
And
Good
then
stuff.
for a moment there, I started a new Dark Souls playthrough.
Oh yeah.
First Dark Souls. And
How'd that go?
it's still hard.
Yeah. They're known for that.
Yeah. I was really
It's
trying
really the
to
Dark
like
Souls of Dark Souls games when you think about it.
I was really trying to take it slow, take my time, and that was helping.
Yeah.
I've slowly been making progress. The next thing I have to fight is the Bell Gargoyles, and I'm not looking
Oh
forward to it.
yeah. They're crazy.
But I did get the Drake sword.
Uh-huh. Is that good?
It's very good. So you know the kite dragon on the bridge that breathes fire and kills everything on the bridge. Well, you can go underneath the bridge and use a bow and arrow and hit its tail, and it can't attack you. And so you can just keep doing that over and over until he drops the Drake sword,
Nice.
which is great. It doesn't kill him,
Excellent.
but it does drop the Drake sword, which is all I cared about.
Like defeats him, I guess.
Yeah, it moves him to stage 2.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I beat the Taurus demon and so like I lost a few times and I'm like, okay, think like a Dark Souls player.
Yeah.
So
Dodge
I
roll
unequipped everything except my weapon, two-handed it, and just ran in there and killed and
just
I
destroyed.
beat him.
Nice. Okay.
Because you can dodge much quicker when
Right.
you have no equipment. When your
Yeah.
encumbrance is super low.
You don't need armor if you just don't get hit.
Right,
So,
exactly. Dodge souls.
There you go. You're welcome. That's how you play.
Apparently,
See, that's
when people come out with a Souls-like game, people ask, okay, is it dodge souls or parry souls?
yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's like in a game like that, there is no cheesing that is not acceptable.
Right.
Like as much cheese as possible to get through it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
and I love when I read some of the strategies people use, I'm like, I would never even thought to
considered such a
Yeah.
ridiculous strategy. Yeah. But
You know-
that game forces you to think
those
that
like
way.
iron armored pigs.
Oh, yeah. Those are cool.
I got into a position where one would charge at this doorway and not be able to fit through it, and I'd slash him a few times when he turned around, and then he'd run off, and then I'd go out and he'd run back and he'd hit the wall and turn around and I'd hit him again and just until he died.
And continue. Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. That's like a very old school way of playing video games that is lost a little bit now, I think.
Yeah.
With AAA games.
Kind of, yeah.
Which is sad because I love that kind of stuff.
There's a lot of bosses in video games that I've only beaten by cheating it.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
I don't know the proper way to defeat that boss, but yeah.
Sure.
Like there's a few Kingdom Hearts bosses, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
That, like I don't know what the correct way to fight this boss is. Like
People are
I don't know what the
crazy that
game
game,
developers intended you to do in this fight, but that's not how I beat him.
Yeah. People are crazy. Some
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts players, they'll like, people do level 1 runs.
Yeah.
You know, they do
Level 1 critical versus the
critical.
lingering will.
Yeah, like people are ridiculous in Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I don't know, I just play it.
Yeah.
I just hit the heartless. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much. Too much for me, thanks.
Then let's see here. Oh yeah, I mean this is old news now, but Akira
Okay.
Toriyama died.
Oh, yes.
That was-
Akira Toriyama
was
did
sad.
pass away. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one of the first like real legendary manga / anime creators to die recently. I feel like to die in a
Yeah,
long
like
time.
him and the author of
Like-
Berserk, I think.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
they're the two in
But,
recent
like,
memory.
Akira's up there in legend status.
Yeah, like
That's really crazy.
he influenced like almost every mangaka that has
Yeah.
ever written a action series
Yeah.
of any kind.
It's like that's like Walt Disney territory, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's really crazy. Yeah, very sad.
Yeah, like if Iraqi ever passes, it'll be
Yeah,
a
So-
similar level.
yeah.
Because
But, like-
even though I feel like JoJo doesn't have nearly the notoriety
Right. As
that
much
Dragon
as I
Ball
love
has,
JoJo, not quite as much as Toriyama.
but
'cause Toriyama
because
was
he's been doing that for so long,
Yeah.
and JoJo has had a lot of influences
It's
on
true.
other things.
It's
It's
true.
just that it's never had the fame or notoriety as Dragon Ball.
Right.
Not even close.
But like, yeah, Goku has like the level of like Pikachu.
yeah,
Like Joe Schmo on the street knows who Goku is
yeah.
a lot of the time. Yeah. So
yeah. They
that's
might
just-
not know
that's
any
nuts.
other character in Dragon Ball, but they know Goku.
Yeah, they've heard of Goku.
Because they know that everybody on the internet's like, but can he beat Goku?
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. Speaking of notoriety, I wanted to bring up this list that a fairly well-known gaming publication. I forget the name of it exactly, but you know, near IGN levels, like well-known.
Okay. Yeah.
They did a poll and decided the most influential video game characters of all time.
okay.
The top 15 is what it was. And they only polled 4,000 people,
Oh no.
which made it scary,
Yeah.
you know? And so you're like, okay, that's, you know, not enough people. And I'm guessing a lot of them were maybe employees of that group.
Okay.
But let me just bring it up here real quick.
I'm expecting to either be hear a very obvious list or a list that I completely disagree with on every level?
So, yeah, listen. Here's the thing. I'm just going to tell you that Mario didn't win.
He's not even on the list?
No, well, no, he wasn't.
Okay.
He just wasn't number
he's
one.
just not number one. Okay.
Which I already kind of disagree with,
Yeah,
basically.
he's definitely the most recognizable video game character
To me,
I can
he
think
is
of.
he's it, you know?
Yeah.
And we're back.
And we're
okay,
back.
I finally pulled it up. So it's by BAFTA,
Okay.
who is like...
I've never heard of them. That's
Really?
interesting.
They're like a... anyway, they're important or whatever. So, this list is insane. Okay. I'm just going to go through a few real quick. Number 20, Nathan Drake, Uncharted, sure. 19, Ellie from The Last of Us, sure. Especially recently, Last of Us, that's fine. This is most iconic video game characters. Iconic, right? This is serious, by the way. This is not like a satire website.
Oh, no.
Just so you know.
Oh, no.
Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza. Yakuza's been fairly popular lately. That's fine. Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3. No.
Well,
okay, Baldur's Gate's a big...
Right this minute, it's a big deal. But,
iconic video game characters. Nope, never heard of him. I sort of know what Baldur's Gate is. Okay.
Like,
it's not big enough
less
for that.
than a year ago, that was that no one had ever heard of that character.
Exactly.
So...
Number 16, Cloud Strife, Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, there we go. There's someone.
Somebody. 15, Crash Bandicoot. Sure.
Okay.
More than Cloud, questionable.
Yeah.
Then Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Sure. Again, sort of weird that he's above Crash and... I'd put him below Crash and Cloud, personally.
Oh, okay.
13, Steve from Minecraft. Obvious. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially,
sure.
yeah.
All right.
Minecraft's pretty iconic.
None of
now.
these are like, oh, obviously for me. It's like, okay, sure, that's...
Number 12, Pikachu from Pokemon.
That low.
Number 12 is Pikachu.
Oh, boy.
Pikachu is not in the top 10, let alone top 5, where it should be in like the top 3, in my opinion.
Okay.
But okay. Not even just because we're Pokemon fans, just because, you know, it's freaking Pikachu.
Yeah, like everyone knows who Pikachu is. People who know nothing about Pokemon know.
Just remember, all these people are above Pikachu. More iconic. Okay, Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Definitely not.
The cowboy guy. What? You're telling me he's not more iconic than Pikachu? Psh, come on, right? Shadow Heart from Baldur's Gate 3 is number 10.
2 people from Baldur's Gate 3, really?
So clearly, the people behind this had just been playing a lot of
There's
Baldur's
a lot
Gate
of recency bias going on here. Okay.
Yeah. Above that is Kratos from God of War.
Okay, he's fairly iconic among actual gamers.
Yeah, but is he above Pikachu, Steve from Minecraft, Solid
not.
Snake, Crash Bandicoot, and Cloud Strife? No, he's not.
Definitely not.
Master Chief from Halo.
Okay,
is
pretty
iconic,
number 8.
Yeah. Okay, Link from Legend of Zelda is number 7. Strange.
Okay.
I'd put him a little higher, personally.
Yeah,
Pac-Man,
only a little higher.
Number 6, Pac-Man.
Okay.
So iconic.
Number 6, that kind of feels about right for Pac-Man.
Absolutely. Okay. Number 5, Sackboy from Little Big Planet.
What?
Number 5. He's like 6 above Pikachu.
How?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know how. That's the one that blows my mind.
Like, I know this character better than anyone from Baldur's Gate 3, but...
Exactly. Thank God it's above the Baldur's Gate. Yeah, Sackboy is above Pac-Man, Link, Master Chief, Pikachu, Steve from Minecraft, Solid Snake, Crash, and Cloud.
Yeah.
Way more iconic, right? Completely. Number 4, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay. Yeah,
Absolutely.
number 4 sounds about right for Sonic.
I would put him in top 5 as well. That makes perfect sense. Number 3 is Agent 47 from Hitman.
Okay, not in the top 5. 3. Definitely not in the top 5.
In the top 20? Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Top 10? Maybe, but probably not. No, number 3, Agent 47. Number 2, Mario from Super Mario. Thank God.
At least he's in the top 3.
He should be number 1, in my opinion. I believe he is the most iconic. Number 2 should be Pikachu, in my opinion. Number 1, are you ready?
Oh boy.
Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
No.
The most
That is-
iconic video game character of all
What?
time. Of all time, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So, all right.
don't worry. There was so much outrage over this list.
Good. There should
People
be.
lost their minds, which is rightfully so.
So,
Anyway.
real quick, let's come up with our own.
Oh, crap.
Not that many.
Okay.
Just off the top of your head.
Mario,
So,
Pikachu.
Mario, Pikachu, 1 and 2.
No question.
You think Link, number 3?
Maybe Link. But
I understand this is we're going to show some Nintendo bias, but
yeah,
also
so
like
I'm going to try to not have Nintendo bias and really think as a normal human being.
right.
And I might say Steve from Minecraft.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's
So
just
here's
a
the
thought.
thing though. When I the
Like
first
he's the dude. He's my
right,
Mr. Minecraft.
but the first several years I played Minecraft, I had no idea his name was Steve.
Right.
Like
Sure.
I feel like I understand now. Obviously, everyone knows who he is, and Minecraft is super popular, and I understand that. But
especially with like parents who have kids or something.
and I guess I can't bias again. So on the one hand, I don't want to bias too strongly towards old games. On the other hand, most of those characters from those old games I'm thinking of are still around and are still part of new games.
They
So
continue, basically.
There's a reason I would be that way. So what about Sonic for number 3?
Sonic more iconic. Iconic, yes.
Yeah.
Let's go with Sonic at number 3.
I think Sonic is iconic is like the word I would use.
Yeah.
There. So yeah.
So now let me also throw in there Pac-Man is extremely iconic.
Absolutely.
Like he's still on t-shirts and cups and stuff.
If he's not in the
nowadays,
top 5,
know?
he definitely should be in the top 10.
Yeah, exactly. He might be like number 6, which actually was on this list.
And in fact, out of all arcade cabinet characters besides Mario,
Number 1.
it would
Absolutely.
be Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, yeah. Like he's the face of retro games, basically. Like no question. And retro games are iconic enough still, even with younger people.
Donkey Kong should be in the top 10 somewhere.
Top 10, yeah.
Because he's in the original Mario game, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So
I would say he's top 10 for sure.
yeah.
So number 4. It's a toss-up between Link and Steve, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But just because of the staying power Minecraft has had is really impressive.
We could just say
that's crazy.
those two are 4 and 5, and the order is debatable.
Up in the air a little bit for order, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So at least we have a top 5.
Yeah. And so Pac-Man number 6 then,
Pac-Man
you
number
think?
6 is good.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it's like at 7, 8, 9, 10 kind of opens up a lot of possibilities.
Because
Master Chief's up there.
Yeah, Master Chief for sure.
That's tough because Crash Bandicoot and Cloud come to mind also.
Yeah, Cloud. Well, do you think Cloud or Sephiroth more so?
Yeah, well, I guess the protagonist is always the most iconic to me.
Yeah, so Cloud just barely ahead above of Sephiroth, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd put him at 7.
Yeah.
Maybe like 9 or 10.
And I would put Kratos up there fairly high in the top 20
That's
somewhere.
Because that has had staying power too.
Yeah, exactly. God
It's
of War's been
modern
around
games
for a long time, and it's been Kratos like every time.
Yeah.
Because like with Assassin's Creed, you've had several characters.
Exactly.
And I think Ezio's the most popular.
Yeah, but still not iconic enough, I feel like. Yeah, I would not put Lara Croft or Agent 47 even in the top 10.
No, not in the top 10.
I just really don't
I'd
think
put Lara
so.
Croft ahead of Agent 47 easily.
Absolutely, yeah, but
She should be in the top 20 somewhere,
I'd put
probably.
Sackboy maybe at 50.
Yeah.
Or something.
Very low.
I don't know. That would make no sense.
I feel
to me at
like
all.
you either have to be part of a monolith like Minecraft,
right,
or you have to be part of a very long running series of games.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like Mario. And so Lara Croft does fit that bill. just not up there with like
but not it doesn't.
Mario
She doesn't
and
have the
Sonic.
popularity of like. I'd almost put Samus above Lara Croft for like female protagonists, and I'd put Ellie from Last of Us in front of her too. Actually,
Oh, really?
yeah. I mean, Last of Us is a huge game.
Okay.
It and 2 plus the TV show.
Yeah.
It's pretty huge. Like,
Okay.
I'd put her in number 20 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are kind of tough.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting thought exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it. I think that's just being rational.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. Yeah, there was a lot of discourse on Twitter for a couple days there.
Yeah.
Over that.
It's like you could pull out any random character from a video game you love, but that doesn't make them iconic. Like Dante from Devil May Cry, people, gamers, especially ones who have played that game, know who he is.
Yeah.
But like, is
but
he
not
iconic? No.
Joe Schmo, who knows some about video games, right? Like, to me, iconic means most people can recognize that character, even if they're not big gamers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, they would see Steve and be like, oh, the Minecraft guy.
Yeah.
They wouldn't necessarily call him Steve, but yeah. That's, no question there. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That the top 5 has Sackboy, Agent 47, and Lara Croft is insane. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Do you have more list? Or should I talk about Pokemon?
So let's see. Before that, let's. I'm
Before that.
going through like.
Okay, sure.
What have we done the last 2 months? So like
good
we
question.
had our niece over, Ariana.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was fun.
Visiting from Maine,
Yep.
so far away.
She listens sometimes. So hi, Ariana.
Hi.
We played some Mario Kart at some point, and it felt good to feel like I'm good at Mario Kart, even though I'm not.
Yeah. Destroying your younger siblings or nieces and nephews is awesome.
Yes.
So
It's always a good time.
there was plenty of that. We played Tennis Aces. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's a good game.
It made me enjoy Mario Tennis again because I hadn't in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked that the way that it handles the split screen. You can always be on the correct side of the net.
You're always behind your
because
character.
like when I would play that game single player, I'd make sure I was always on that side.
Yeah.
But then when I had to play multiplayer, I couldn't do that, and it really messed me
you
up.
up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that game is actually weirdly deep. Like the combos and button inputs you can do are kind of insane. Like you kind of have to learn it like a fighting game a little bit. Yeah. So, but it was cool.
Yeah. We also showed her the Lord of the Rings trilogy for the first time.
Yes, we watched the entire trilogy with her, which was cool.
Which is just watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy is
so
always
good.
a good time anyway.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still very good, unsurprisingly. Yeah. And she liked it, so that was good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she loves like reading and stuff, loved the Harry Potter books, stuff like that. So that was right up her alley. So
yeah. And we had Easter has come and gone. I got to meet April's dad.
Good. Yeah, he came in
cool.
town for a weekend basically, but that was really cool. See, he lives in Cali, so he got to meet little Theo. Mm-hmm. That's his first grandkid. So yeah, very cool. Good baby.
Okay. Well, I thought I had enough content for 2 episodes, but I think I might just get into. I mean, it depends on how much shiny talk you have to do, but
I have plenty.
Yeah,
I have a lot to talk about.
So I am going to talk about my PS5 experience, and then we can, and then I might talk about Rebirth in the next episode.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
okay,
I bought a PS5.
What a tease! What?
So I went on eBay and I found one that looked like it was in decent condition. And I try to just buy stuff from top-rated sellers anytime I buy off eBay because you have to work for that rating, and they don't want to lose that rating, so they tend to have decent customer service.
Yeah.
So I bought it. And some people just do not take very good care of their stuff, and I don't understand how. So like it was dirty.
Yeah.
Like it was in
Like, how is
perfect
it
working order,
dirty?
but I had to like take some time to clean it. And
Yeah, like
the
what
controller,
do you do to it to make it
I had
dirty?
so I got the controller and it didn't completely work. And thankfully
Lame.
the seller was very accommodating. They actually refunded me gave me a partial refund on the controller.
Nice.
Because every button worked except tapping up on the left control stick. Just would not work.
Interesting.
Everything else worked. And then a couple of the buttons were sticky too, so I didn't really. But like I opened the controller up completely to try and fix it, which didn't work. But there was like somebody had like spilled orange soda on it or something, and there was stuff
that was probably
goop inside the controller that I cleaned out.
Nice.
didn't fix the problem, but
Insane. Yeah. Some people are animals. It's so
just
funny.
like I have a 25, I think, year old almost N64, and it is perfectly fine. It's dusty, and that's it.
Just a little dust. Yeah.
There's a thin coat of dust on the outside, and that is it.
But not orange soda and dirt, actual dirt. Like, I don't know if people just take their stuff outside or something. Or throw trash
that
at it.
N64 has probably been outside at least once.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's like I look on a Facebook Marketplace all the time just to see like what people are selling, what prices and stuff, and go, ooh, I wish I could get that, and then no buy it. And people like take pictures. Like I just saw one. Somebody was selling their Switch OLED. And they took the picture of their Switch OLED outside.
Yeah.
And it was it was just on the ground, and they took a picture of it and posted it on there. And I'm like, why? Why would you put it on the ground and like on like on the sidewalk? It looked like,
wow.
And like the sticks were like broken off basically, and they were like, "I'm selling my Switch OLED," and I'm like, I don't know how people live. I don't know. It's very very strange to me.
How have you made it this far in life?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I wound up buying a new controller, and I'm glad I did because it's actually a very nice controller.
Yes.
The PS5 controller in particular is quite nice.
Yes, when they don't have orange soda on them.
Yeah, when it's brand new and
they work real nice.
It isn't dirty.
Yeah. It's like that. There was like an instructional thing from Nintendo on the Wii, and it showed a diagram of someone pouring like orange juice or something on their Wii, and it just has like a circle with a slash through it.
Yeah.
Like, don't feed your Wii orange juice. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic infographic.
All right. Before I go any further, you've been doing a lot of shiny hunting.
I have.
Let's talk about that.
But I'll actually start with what I was doing when he was first born.
Okay.
Which was fully finishing my living decks.
Right. Okay.
So I had made a living dex in X and Y, which I had talked about, which is like 721 Pokemon. And then I had done the regional living dex in Sun and Moon, which is 400 Pokemon. And then I looked to Pokemon Home to try to do a full living dex there, which is like 1,065-ish Pokemon. It's a lot of Pokemon. Thankfully, I had a good collection already.
Right.
Just from catching stuff in Sword and Shield back in the day, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Legends Arceus. Just from Legends Arceus, I had like all of Gen 4, right? So already in a living dex, that was really helpful. Scarlet and Violet have quite a bit of Pokemon in them, like 400, 600, 800 Pokemon total, I think, in Scarlet Violet. So doing one in Pokemon Home isn't that difficult.
Yeah.
And so my list wasn't too crazy long to make that happen. One of the things was I needed a Calyrex, which we had talked about. Because so you can get Glacier and Spectrier, the horses, in Scarlet Violet, but not Calyrex.
Right.
Now I had the DLC in Shield. I don't have my copy of Shield anymore. I sold it long ago. So
on those lines,
speaking of
because I
Shield.
forgot to put this in my notes, so I went to Retro Game Trader
That's our place.
I had a handful of things to trade in. One of them was my PS4 because I now had a PS5 and I was able to transfer everything over. I also got a M.2 SSD in there, so that was like 2 terabytes, so it's got plenty of storage.
Nice.
So I traded that in, and I went to their clearance shelf, and they had a bunch of stuff there. So I got
some good stuff.
Like, I think
Especially
every
like 360 stuff.
Xbox 360 Assassin's Creed game.
Nice.
And the whole BioShock collection. So I just got this nice stack of 360 games, plus, and then also Pokemon Shield. And it was all, I was able to get it all with store credit, and I still have some left over.
Heck
so that was great.
Yeah. That's always very awesome.
So I think Xbox 360 might now be my largest game collection.
Yeah.
For any one console. Like, that's number one, I think, and then PS4. Yeah. And then probably N64. Probably.
I think Switch is mine. I think I have the most Switch games.
I really only have like 4 or 5 Switch games.
Yeah, I have a lot of Switch games.
They're mostly Pokemon.
Yeah. So
I got Shield because I had Sword and I had intended to play your copy of Shield, but you had already gotten rid of your copy of Shield before I ever got to play it. And then now you needed Shield for Calyrex, so you were able to use my copy of Shield.
Yes.
All right, and continue.
So I did play through all of Sword as well, your copy of Sword, just sort of for fun, first of all. Yeah. But also I needed Zacian, and that was the only way to get it, was to fully play through that. So... But that was fun anyway. I wanted to do that just for fun. So I went through Pokemon Home, and I still have my save file from Pokemon Shield, and it actually fully saves your Pokemon onto the Switch. So I was actually able to transfer Pokemon from Shield, even though I didn't own Shield. Like, I still had my save. The Pokemon are just stored there. So I moved tons of stuff from my Shield playthrough. To Home, so I filled out Galar and a few other things pretty well. But the thing was, I had Calyrex because I had the DLC.
Right,
he was sitting there in my box, but he was attached to Spectrier, the horse. I didn't know when I first played the Crown Tundra that you could just use the key item, the Reigns of Destiny or whatever, something stupid like that, to split them apart into 2 different Pokemon. I thought once they were fused, that was it, basically.
Yeah.
And so I needed Shield not to play through the Crown Tundra and get Calyrex, but to just use a key item on him to split him, and then that's it. That's all I needed Shield for. And I was strongly considering buying like a $25, $30 copy off Facebook Marketplace or something. Yeah. But luckily you did that. So I was able to separate them quickly and to do all that. So that was nice. So after that, I could, get all the legendaries I needed. If there was any legendaries from Scarlet and Violet, fairly easy, most of that stuff. When it came down to, there was a few tough parts. In Scarlet and Violet, you can only get, legendaries and stuff once, right? Yeah. Like once per playthrough. And I didn't really want to restart on Violet to get a few things that I needed. Basically, through Pokemon Home, I had traded Iron Boulder and Iron Crown away. Right. And gotten some Pokemon I needed from that. Like, there's Walking Wake and Iron Leaves were only events, basically. Yeah. They were like Terra Raid battles you could do, and I didn't do those in time, so I didn't have those Pokemon, and they're literally the only way to get them right now. So I traded those 2 away for those 2, but now I need Iron Boulder and Iron Crown back. So what I did was I used my Switch Lite. Which has the same profile as my other Switch, but there's no cloud saves with Pokemon games. Okay. So I was able to just start Violet from the beginning on the same profile, but on a different Switch, so it was a different playthrough. Very, very
Okay,
strange.
interesting.
So I'm the same person, and I didn't have to buy the DLC again, which is really
yeah.
nice because it's the same profile. So I got to do a new playthrough of Violet, basically. And what I did was I transferred my starter in that new playthrough and a couple others through home to my other Switch, gave them 30 EXP XL candies, made them like level 60 to like 80-ish, and just transferred them back. And because I was the original trainer, I could still use them, and they would obey me and everything because I caught them at a low level. They just happen to be level 80 now. So that made playing through the game fairly quick. So I was able to get like a new Miraidon, totally like an extra Miraidon and an extra, the other Pokemon. Basically, I didn't play all the way through the Teal Mask DLC. So I could still go back and do that if I wanted to get like I could have a second Ogre Pond and stuff like that. But basically, I did everything I needed to go through to the Indigo Disc. Got the Pokemon I needed to catch for the Pokedex. Went and got a new Iron Boulder and Iron Crown, and that almost finished up my my living dex. There were 2 Pokemon, 2 event mythicals.
Oh boy,
Impossible to get.
Right.
Physically impossible to get. And in Pokemon Home, to consider a full living dex, you need every mythical too. In games like X and Y, you don't actually need mythicals to get like the shiny charm for having a full national dex, because they're like, don't worry about it. So to get like there's a gift gold Magearna you get for having a living dex in Pokemon Home. And I wasn't going to get that if I didn't get these 2 mythicals. So I bought them with real money.
Oh, wow.
Which is a new low for me, buying Pokemon.
Yeah.
But they're literally not gettable either way. Any other way. So I bought a Zarude, who's like, do you even know what that Pokemon is?
Not
it's
really.
Like it's like a black monkey with like green things on it.
Okay.
He's like a weird monkey. And I bought Zeraora, who's like an electric cat who like punches stuff.
Okay.
He's actually really cool design wise. And the ones I bought they was just off eBay. They were like $1.50 each, super cheap. But like it still felt a little icky, but what are you going to do? They were like event Pokemon, and according to Pokemon Home, whatever, it was as legit as you could get, basically. Like, I don't think they're actually legit. They're probably, generated or hacked in some way. But according to the games, they're perfectly legitimate. So that's nice. I probably couldn't enter them in a tournament, but I don't plan on doing that.
Right.
So I'll take it. The last one was Melmetal. I don't know if you remember Meltan and Melmetal.
Right.
The mythicals.
I remember Meltan, yeah.
Yeah, so Meltan evolves into Melmetal. Mm-hmm. It's like a big,
It's a Pokemon Go exclusive,
That's
right?
a Pokemon Go exclusive, yes. So I opened up Pokemon Go, and I was like, okay, listen. I thankfully still had the login from my old Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So I did have stuff, and thankfully, since it first came out, they've made it easier to get. So it used to be that like you could only get a few Meltan like every 3 days, 3 real life days. But then they made it so like you get like a full hour every 3 days to catch as many Melmetals as you possibly can, or Meltans. And so after the first day, I had like almost 300 candies for Meltan.
Yeah.
Evolving it costs 400 candies, which is absurd. So I waited the 3 days, did it again, got everything I needed. So I had a bunch of Meltan. I got a Melmetal. I was like, finally. Transferred those over to Pokemon Home. And then I go to my Pokemon Home, and I find a gift thing, and there was a gift for transferring a Pokemon from Go to Home. Just any Pokemon, you get a gift Pokemon. You know what the gift Pokemon is? Metal. I didn't have to do any of that.
Wow.
You just transfer one Pokemon, and they just give you Metal now. I was not aware of that. So, through all my Googling of how to get Metal, no one mentioned that, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone failed to mention that little development. So that was cool. That was real cool. But in the end, it was okay. I got the gift Magearna for having a complete living dex, which is really cool. It's like gold, and the little dress it has like Pokeball colors. And that is the only way to get that Pokemon. Yeah. It's not like it's shiny even. It's just like its own form.
Yeah.
It's completely uncatchable either way. So that's pretty cool to have a full living dex in Pokemon Home. I also got all the forms of everything. Every Galar form in a living dex, every Alolan form, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
What I don't have is Vivillon. I don't know if you remember the butterfly from X and Y.
Yeah.
It has different patterns based off of what region the Pokemon is from. And I don't have all of those yet. But I have a good amount of them. So
do you have every combination of Alcremie?
Not every single one. I do have 6 shiny Alcremie though in Scarlet and Violet, one for each like sweet type.
Yeah.
But not one for every single swirl type, because that's like 90 something. Don't have all those, but So yeah, that was my adventure in living dexness. In X and Y, I do have a whole thing to go into about the 3DS online shutting down, which just happened a couple of days ago when we record this. But I'll save that for the next episode because that's a very long story.
Okay, yeah.
But other than that, I have not been doing anything else. What have you been up to?
Well, you've been shiny hunting through Friend Safari, right?
Yeah, but I kind of want to get into that. I want to get into that with all like a whole thing.
All right.
So
we'll
save that. We'll save that juicy detail for later.
I have implemented a sleep routine that I am currently not using tonight, at least, because we're recording podcast. But
late at night after my son went to bed. So my son, I can say that.
I go to bed at 10 p.m. So at 9 p.m.
boring.
No screens. I turn off my computer. I put my phone away. I don't do anything that involves a screen. Unfortunately, the vast majority of things I do for fun involve a screen.
Very true.
So I was like, okay, well, I could read a book, but at 9 p.m., I'm usually too tired to really focus on a book. So instead, I was like, okay, what's something that doesn't take as much brain power? Manga. Manga doesn't take a lot of brain power. So one of the only manga that I own physically is a certain scientific railgun. I enjoyed it enough that I decided to buy physical copies of it, and I have continued to do so because it is still going.
Still ongoing.
I first read it like in 2013 or something, maybe earlier than that.
A long time ago.
And it's still going. So
that's crazy.
I've kept up with it, and I was actually I own every volume that has come out in that has been released in North America, and but I had only read up to like 10, and I have now like 18. So I actually have new manga to read. So that's cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
And yeah, so that night routine, I take some melatonin.
Naturally.
At 9, I start just taking care of everything so that all that's left is I can just read manga until it's time to go to bed, and then I go straight to bed. And it's helped a little bit. So I always dealt with insomnia as a kid.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as bad as an adult because the 8 to 5 Monday through Friday for several years kind of forced my body to accept that this is now your sleep schedule.
Yeah.
But even then, it still would take me like an hour or two to fall asleep, and I'm falling asleep a little faster now. So that's good.
That's good. Yeah, my sleep schedule is totally messed up.
Yeah.
As I have a child. because he often does go to sleep now at, by 10 o'clock ish, but he doesn't always stay asleep. And well, I got very used to late nights when he was really like a young baby. When he was like a new baby, obviously it's harder to have a sleep schedule like that, especially because they eat like every 2 hours when they're really newborn. And so I'm sort of kind of still at a go to bed at 1 a.m., wake up at 11 o'clock sort of routine right now. But yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Me and my wife take shifts sometimes, like still. And yeah, but since she's the one that has to feed him a lot of the time, then I can't really do anything to help with that. So yeah, but it's all good.
All right.
He's so worth it.
And with that, I think we're going to call it for this episode.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to do monthly for a little while until things calm down with the baby and Nicolai is more available.
Yeah, I'm just so busy. I don't know. But hey, if you want to stay up to date with everything we're doing, because we're always doing so much, you can follow us at Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at the Brothers G Pod.
That's right. And we're available on all the podcast platforms, like the one you're currently listening to.
Whoa.
Unless you're listening on YouTube, in which case, what up, YouTube?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.
Yeah. And please download this podcast on every device you possibly can, including ones not your own.
Yeah. If you just find somebody's phone, go ahead and download it. Be like, have you listened do you like podcasts?
It'll be like that U2 album.
Yeah, just like that U2 album that Apple gave to everybody.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Give your loved one the gift of the Brothers Game podcast.
That's right.
Amen.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.